Having low iron levels can really be quite troublesome. Symptoms include dizziness, fatigue, dry skin, and sometimes even hair loss. So if you're someone who has low iron levels, then this video is just for you. So I'm going to briefly explain why we as women need to keep our iron levels up, and then I'm going to share with you 5 tips to increase iron levels and boost absorption. So if you want to know more, keep on watching. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kesar and I am a qualified nutritionist with a huge passion for anything relating to women's health. For today's video, I wanted to talk about low iron levels and what we can do to really increase and boost those levels, because it is so unbelievably common for women to experience throughout their lives. I did too as a teenager and into my early 20s, so it's something that I've thought about a lot and researched. But as most nutritionists and even doctors will tell you, there is actually quite a lot that we can do ourselves to really up those iron levels. Before we dive in, I just wanted to say one really important thing, and that's we're not going to be talking about iron supplements in this video today, because iron supplements should only be taken after you've spoken with a doctor and you've done a blood test. Once you get the results, you can speak to your doctor and decide whether the supplement route is the best option for you, or whether you can just make some simple adjustments to your diet to increase those iron levels. Because when it comes to iron, having too much iron is not great and having too little iron is not great either. So it's all about finding that happy medium. Now, the tips that I discussed with you in this video are little adjustments that are super easy to be making every single day. However, there are definitely certain times of the month and situations where we really need to be pumping that iron. So for example, during our periods, we lose approximately 1 teaspoon of blood every single day. So it's really important that during our period and post-period, we really work to increase our iron intake and incorporate as many easy to absorb iron sources into our diet as we can, which I'll talk more about later. Secondly, if you're someone who experiences heavy periods, then it's very likely you're losing more than 1 teaspoon of blood every day during your period. So therefore, it's even more important for you to be trying to incorporate as many of these tips into your daily routine as you can. Okay, so tip 1. Eat more iron-rich foods daily. Now, this might seem quite obvious and you're probably thinking, I really don't need to watch another video to tell me what I know already, which is to eat more iron-rich foods to up my iron levels. But I just want you to take a minute to think about what you're eating on a day-to-day basis. And are you actually eating a variety of food every day, or the same sorts of foods? And are you incorporating specifically iron-rich foods daily into your diet, or just now and again? Because I bet that for a lot of you, there's a lot more you can be doing to include iron-rich foods into your diet every single day. Okay, so now that I've made the point that we need to be incorporating iron-rich foods into our diet every single day, which foods specifically have iron in them? So there's actually quite a few food sources that are rich in iron, and I'm not going to bore you by reading them all out for you. I've created a list for you, which you can see here. So just pause the video and take a note. But on the whole, they include things like meat, seafood, beans, lentils, certain nuts and seeds, and certain grains such as quinoa. You can also go online and search for a list of iron-rich foods. And then what I suggest you do is pick the foods that you like and that you think you'll be able to incorporate into your diet on a daily basis. Then list these foods out onto a Word document or something similar, print it out, and then just stick it up on the fridge, because that way you'll have a daily reminder of the iron-rich foods that you need to be incorporating into your meals, and it will make the habit of eating these foods daily a lot easier to stick to. Just a quick side note, so when picking items of foods, I would go for whole foods and foods that have been minimally processed, as these tend to have more iron in them. I also want to mention that there are 2 different types of iron in our food. So the first is heme iron, which is very easily absorbed by the body and present in animal sources such as red meat, poultry and fish. And then there is non-heme iron. So this is less well absorbed by the body and present in foods such as lentils, nuts, seeds, legumes and beans. Now, there are certain things that you can do to really boost the absorption of non-heme iron, and that's what I'm going to be discussing with you in the rest of this video. Tip 2. Eat something with vitamin C with your iron-rich meals. So vitamin C can really help with the absorption of iron. So a really easy thing that you can start doing literally right now is that every time you eat iron-rich foods, pair them with foods that are rich in vitamin C. For an example, let's say you were to eat some lentils. So lentils are a source of non-heme iron. If you were to pair them with tomatoes, which are rich in vitamin C, so for example in a dal, this will really help with the absorption of the iron from the lentils, therefore easily increasing your iron uptake. Another example is almonds. So again, almonds are a source of non-heme iron. And what you could do is pair them with berries, so strawberries or raspberries, again rich in vitamin C. And this will help your body to absorb the iron better from the almonds, therefore increasing your uptake. And this is actually perfect for a 4 p.m. snack. So you've got the sugar from the raspberry and the strawberries to give you a bit of a boost. And then you've got the protein from the almonds, which will stop your sugar levels from soaring super high, leading you to have a slump. Tip 3, avoid tea and coffee with your meals. Now, I'm not saying that you should be avoiding tea and coffee all the time, just with your meals. This is because tea and coffee have compounds called tannins and polyphenols, which make it harder for your body to absorb iron. So a really common example of this is having a cup of coffee with your breakfast. So say for example, you're having a spinach omelette. So spinach is a source of non-heme iron, which is already harder for your body to digest. Having it with a cup of coffee will only make it that much harder. In fact, one study found that just 1 cup of black tea reduced the absorption of iron from a meal by 60%. So that's a significant amount. So one really easy and simple change that you can make right now is to stop drinking tea and coffee with your meals and just stick to drinking cups between your meal times. Tip 4. Soak any raw beans, lentils and grains before cooking them. So this is something that I used to watch my mum doing when I was younger, and at the time I had no idea why she had to soak a bowl of lentils overnight before cooking them the next day. But now I know why, so let me tell you. So beans and lentils are a great source of iron, but it can be harder for us to absorb this iron because of something called phytic acid or phytates, a naturally occurring anti-nutrient which actually inhibits the iron uptake in our gut. But there are a number of things that you can do to reduce the amount of phytate present in beans and lentils and essentially unlock the iron so that much more is absorbed by your body. You can soak, ferment, or even sprout. So sprouting is letting the seeds begin to grow in a moist environment. But let's face it, how many of us actually have the time to be sprouting and fermenting on a daily basis? Not a lot of us. So we can stick to soaking. So basically what I do is before cooking any sort of beans, lentils or grains is I will soak them in water. Now it's best to soak them overnight, but an hour is sufficient if you've simply forgotten or you're short on time. Then I drain the water out and then I cook them in fresh water. And this basically just makes it so much easier for both your body to digest the beans, lentils and grains, but also to absorb the iron from them. Tip 5, avoid taking calcium supplements with iron-rich meals. Calcium is a crucial mineral in our diets, but it can also inhibit iron absorption when eaten with a meal. So if you're struggling with your iron levels and you're also taking calcium supplements, try not to have them with your meals. I would also apply this knowledge to fortified drinks. So for example, plant-based milks, that's a good example because they're usually fortified with calcium. So what I would do is try not having these fortified drinks with a meal that is full of iron-rich foods, just so that you're not sacrificing your iron uptake. So those are my 5 tips for you. I just wanted to quickly say something for those women who are thinking about or planning on getting pregnant in the near future. And that is that it's really important that you go and see your doctor before getting pregnant, do some blood work and determine your current iron levels. This is because pregnancy is often the cause of iron deficiency anemia, as you and your baby will need a lot more iron to make red blood cells whilst you're pregnant. So make eating iron-rich foods even more of a priority ahead of a possible pregnancy. I hope you have found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I've discussed in this video, then please do let me know in the comments box below. In the meantime, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do give me a thumbs up if you've liked it. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to continue to learn more about your body, nutrition and hormones, then subscribe to my channel right now and you'll be the first to know when my next video has been uploaded. I'll see you next time.